never leaving us with anything short of controversy. The WBC does it again. Before we get into it, like, subscribe, and share so we can get this thing sprinkling across the YouTube metaverse or universe or whatever type of verse you want to describe it as. Speaking of verse, it will be Mario Barrios, the WBC welterweight champion, versus Ryan Garcia. Which is interesting because Mario Barrios just went life and death with a 50-year-old man in Manny Pacquiao. And Ryan Garcia, the last time we saw him, he was getting punched on by Rolly Romero for the WBA championship, coming off of an L, and we actually saw him boo-hooing in the back of a Sprinter van. Well, with that being said, Ryan Garcia announced that that fight will be happening in sometime in February, I think it is. February was the date or something like that. The thumbnail will be up and I'll have the date there. It's an interesting matchup because not that this is a matchup that we feel like is gonna, get the fans back into boxing the way that, we have intriguing matchups, even though nobody asked for a Shakur Stevenson and a T.O. or maybe a even the likes of David and Zerto. It's David jumping up another weight class to go try to take two belts off of a champion. Even with the rumors of Canelo and Crawford happening again, we don't know if Canelo's done. We don't know if Bud could knock him out. There's no mystery behind it. We even just came off of Devin Haney versus Brian Norman, where even I doubted that Devin Haney could go out there and get the job done. Not only did he get the job done, but he knocked Brian Norman down and put the Beats by Dre's on him. Nah, bro. We got this fight right here, which is pretty much... Let's just call it what it is. Low-hanging fruit. Mario Barrios is the weakest link when it comes to the welterweight division. As of right now, I've never seen the IBF champion. I could never remember this guy's name. I'm so sorry. He's the guy that Conor Benn is actually ducking. And speaking of Conor Benn has a lot of vested interest in this fight because in this article, I don't know who wrote it, and I think it's from that website with those suckers that work there, so I'll never give them no type of promo. But in this article right here, Ryan Garcia reveals if he wins the fight, which he's already planning on doing, he will face either Conor Benn or Devin Haney after the fight. Now, Conor Benn had made it clear he has no interest. View my video prior to this. He has no interest in fighting Devin Haney because he claims he's too boring. Yeah, sure. So he'd rather call out a Shakur Stevenson, who's... If you're going to call Devin Haney boring, then you might as well call Shakur Stevenson boring. Why would you want to fight Shakur and not Devin? Makes no sense. But anyways, and he called out Ryan Garcia. That was one of the top 5 names that he called out after his win versus Chris Eubank. So Ryan is saying that Conor Benn could be the choice or Devin Haney could be the choice. So that just lets you know right here. Let's talk intelligent boxing fans, people. Let's be intelligent. Use your brains, people. We know that this fight with Mario Barrios is just about low-hanging fruit and finally being able to capture a title for once in his career. Now, had Ryan actually not effed off the weight, made the weight safe, not been tested positive for Austrian, which Lucas Matisse just recently tested positive for, listen, he would be a world champion. He would at least have one world championship under his belt. Them intercontinental and European titles and junior varsity belts, those don't count as world championships, and we get it. The likes of Ryan, Tank, Conor Benn, these guys don't care about winning titles. They don't care about unifying titles, and they damn sure don't care about undisputeds. They only care about the bankroll and what it brings to their bank accounts and what it brings to the casual fans, that draws the casual fans into the arena so that they can make even more money. But regardless of what anybody says, and regardless of what I may think, because if I was Devin and Bill, I would never give this cheater another opportunity again. But guess what? Money talks and bullshit walks. So guess what? The buildup has already started. And unfortunately, but fortunately, Mario Barrios has to be the stepping stone that gets us to the anticipated rematch. Remember, Ryan Garcia is the one that messed up this whole rematch. Last Saturday really should have been Ryan Garcia versus Devin Haney, part two, where we don't know what would have happened. Maybe we would have got Ryan Garcia winning. Maybe we would have got the answers with Devin Haney. And maybe the trilogy would have been set up to where we could finally put an end to the madness and the confusion. But you see right here, it says Ryan called Devin his son, basically. Bill has a rebuttal, and he said that he couldn't get over the whooping. It's been known that Ryan was out here drinking, snorting you know what's, on the booger sugar and allegedly, and out here just partying during the whole training camp. Didn't take the weight cut serious. Needed the ostarine to kind of help, with generating his power, getting his legs back, and not feeling sluggish in the ring after such a lackadaisical training camp. And it helped, in my opinion, and he got the win in the street fight. That was a street fight, not a boxing match, because there's no contest. He won the street fight. We get that. So now this is another chapter and it makes for an even more intriguing, bigger storyline, right? Devin did his part. He had the Ramirez controversy. Everybody said that he ran. He didn't have a really good showing, right? We'll all admit that. That didn't look good. We all thought that maybe he's a little gunshot, right? We even thought that he would be like Adrian Broner, where he wouldn't be able to let his hands go. He couldn't defend himself offensively, right? Ryan goes in the next fight, loses to Rolly, who he wasn't supposed to lose to, and then the real hold-up came up because we didn't know what was next for either fighter. Devin goes out, shocks everybody by accepting a Brian Norman challenge, beats Brian Norman handily, and now we get this fight now. We get Ryan Garcia versus Mario Barrios, a guy who had been linked to Jerron Ennis prior to. Conor Benn had called him out. So he is the guy that everybody's went life or death with a Manny Pacquiao. That had been rumored prior to the Pacquiao fight, I forget, to be in a fight with Floyd Mayweather. How do I see this fight coming out? I'll just make a prediction right here. I feel like Ryan Garcia can knock Mario Barrios out. He's fast enough, strong enough, and if he has a disciplined weight cut training camp and takes it serious, he should be able to get a knockout victory. Now, here's the controversy. Ryan Garcia fired Derek James. Derek James is not his trainer anymore. He's just going to go full blown with his father, which is a bad sign, because if you remember when Ryan Garcia was training for his last official title shot, actually it wasn't a title shot, there we go again, when he fought Javante, he was training under Joe Goosen, he was training in his garage. So we really don't know what version of Ryan can show up when he doesn't have a disciplinarian there. You would think that his father is the disciplinarian. There's been rumors that his father doesn't really push him when he was training with professional trainers. Now he has his dad there, so it could be a little bit of a crutch. We don't know, but even if so, I never rated Mario Barrios as, if we did a star tier, he was never a 5-star champion. He wasn't even a 4-star. I give him like a 3.5-star champion. He just so happened to the opportunities that he got, kudos to him for taking advantage of it. But let me know what you guys think of this matchup. Let's see if Ryan Garcia beats Mario Barrios. When he beats Mario Barrios, who would you like him to go up against? Conor Benn? Devin Haney? I think the one that makes more money here stateside is the Devin Haney. You could deal with Conor Benn later. Let Conor Benn go fight for the IBF title. Let him actually go win against a real, legitimate opponent and get it out the mud. Like, subscribe, and share. Until next time.